guys, and welcome to Adam's Fishing, and welcome to one of my favourite spots in all the world. It's only 4 days since my last session and I just couldn't wait to get back out on the bank again. I'm down the quiet lake, as you may know it from my previous videos. It's not so quiet today, there's about 5 guys on, but luckily this end of the lake where I like to pitch up is empty, so I've got the place to myself. You can tell I'm mobile today. I'm just carrying a rucksack, a rod bag and a bait bucket, pretty much, that's it. Reason being is it's only going to be a short session today. I've had a good day. I've had a good day of work, got some stuff done that I really need to get done for work. Then I had a few hours playing with the kids in the paddling pool in the garden. Then I've made dinner and we all ate together. And then I asked very nicely if I could nip out for a few hours, and the long-suffering wife said yes. So I nipped straight down here. Really good to see a couple of guys I haven't seen for a while on the lake actually and say hi. But I'm glad to be down this end where I really like this spot. You would have probably seen me here before if you've watched any of my other videos. I haven't seen any obvious signs of fish yet, but I'm just hoping for a restful, relaxing few hours with hopefully a few bits of action thrown in from the fish. We'll see. Alright guys, I'm going to try not to take too long about it because I really want to get the rods out and fishing as soon as possible, but just want to talk you through a few things for your interest in relation to my setup today. First thing is it revolves around this rucksack. I got it, when did I get it? I think I got it last year for my last birthday. It's the Sabre 90 litre carp fishing rucksack, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've managed to fit everything that I need for this session. Could even fit enough stuff in there for a longer session if I wanted to. It opens at the top in the way that a traditional backpack would, but it also opens via a large zip compartment on the front. So as you can see, with that opened, I can have access to all of my stuff at once rather than having to dig through from the top to the bottom kind of thing. So really impressed with this bit of kit, love it, and it's actually quite comfortable to carry even though I've got a fair few bits and pieces in there today, quite heavy. I've got a hoodie for later on when it starts to get a bit chillier. Lovely and warm at the moment, mind you. Got a bottle of water, keep me alive. Thinking that I might just catch a fish, and if I do, and it's dark, I'd like to be able to light up the scene, so I've got my floodlight there. Got my boilie crusher and my sort of collapsible bait bucket there, because I'm going to crush up some boilies and just chuck them out over my spot here, which is just going to be off the corner of this island in front of me, which I'll show you in just a little while. And I've got some of this cloudy krill liquid to pour over the top of those crushed boilies as well, try and really get a stinky cloud out there. I've got a chair of sorts, it's a little tiny fold up stool, but it fits in the bag, and hey, I'm only going to be here for a few hours, so I don't need an armchair, this will be fine. And last but not least in there is my new pop-up unhooking mat thing, which I did show you previously on a video just after Christmas time, I think. But hopefully that'll get some use today, fingers crossed. The next thing that I want to show you, because I haven't used them a lot, is my bank sticks. I'm usually a rod pod guy, but here I think I'll be able to get some bank sticks in. I certainly hope I can anyway, because this is my only option today. I haven't brought the pod. The good thing about this bank stick bag is that it fits nicely in the side pouch of my rucksack. And in there, hopefully you can see, I've got some bank sticks on one side, and I've got some more bank sticks, but this time with alarms attached on the other side. So I'm going to make a start and get a couple of these stuck in the ground, and then I can start thinking about setting my rods up. two rod rule this time of year, guys. So one rod I'm actually going to try the Ronnie rig on with a little candy nut crush pop-up, which has been soaking in some candy nut crush juice for quite some time. They smell great, so hopefully the fish will think so too. The other rod, this one, is going to be on one of my solid PVA bag presentations. So what I need to do first is thread the main line through the eyes of the rod here and tie myself a nice figure 8 loop knot that I can use to loop my PVA bag stems onto. That's my next job. In terms of a tackle box today, guys, I've just got my small tackle box here, little NGT thing, quite slim, just slots into one of the pockets of the rucksack again, and it's just got only what I need, hopefully. So, little pair of scissors, just cut off the tag end of this figure 8 loop knot that I've tied. A nice big knot to make threading on and off my solid PVA bags nice and easy. There's the loop. Let's get a lead threaded on. And I think I'll get clipped up so that I'm just off the corner of that island. I don't want to overcast with one of my solid PVA bags. I'm just going to lose it in there and then lose the whole thing. So I'm going to get clipped up first and then see if I can just possibly underarm out a PVA bag to where I want to fish. I don't know if you can quite see it on camera here. Let me see. No, I don't think you can quite see where I'm looking at. So I'll move the camera angle when the time comes and I'll show you where I'm aiming for. From experience, just hang on a second, just here off the corner of this island is where I'm aiming for. As I remember it, there's a little spot there which I'm sure carp feed on. I've seen carp feeding there before as well when I've crept into the swim, so I think that's a good spot for the solid bag. So first things first, just going to take a lead and my loop. Hopefully you can see that, maybe not. And my loop, just gonna loop to loop that on, thread it on. And this is only temporary because it will be coming off soon after in order to be replaced with a solid PVA bag. But that's just so that I can get my distance right and I can get my clip on the reel, so that I can get that PVA bag right where I want it to go. Rod number 1 is set in terms of where I want to be fishing it. I've got it clipped up on the reel there. I haven't yet popped a PVA bag on and popped it out there. I think I'm going to get a little bit of bait sorted first. Before I do though, I want to sort out rod number 2. And if you can see behind me, these beautiful flowers here just growing off the edge of the island. It's literally an underarm flick, about 2.5 rod lengths, something like that, but I've had fish from there before as well. It's another clearish spot. It's a very silty lake, this one, and there's quite a lot of debris as well because there's so much foliage around. But when I felt, firstly with that left hand rod, which is going to be the PVA rod, lovely smooth pullback, and previously I've had the same thing here, so I'm just going to pop a lead on that one and have an underarm flick and a feel just to check that it is still clear, and if it is, that's where rod number 2 is going to be positioned with my little Ronnie rig. So for those that are interested, rod 2 is fished like this at the business end. I've got a length of anti-tangle tubing, a quick change hybrid lead clip there, and I've got a little 2.5 ounce pear lead hanging from there onto this little hook here on the quick change swivel is where I'm going to be attaching my Ronnie rig. But before I put a rig on, I'm just going to have a feel around and make sure that it's fishable. That'll do for me. I don't want to cause any more disturbance than that. It's smooth pullback, it's silty, sure, but hopefully with that little pop-up sitting just above the silt, might just do the magic. We'll see. So before clipping on the rigs, I just want to get a little bit of bait sorted. Not a lot, not here for that long. I want to crush up some boilie, and I want to put some of that stinky krill liquid over the top of them. Hopefully draw some fish in. I did manage to get myself a new bait bucket after all. It's a Tracker 13 litre one. It's got a tray in the top, which is handy because it's there that I've put my solid PVA bags. And underneath the tray, of course, I've got some boilies. Not a lot. I mean, there's probably about 1 kilo of boilies there. I don't intend to use that many. And I've also got a little tub of some frozen ones that were soaked a while ago and in my freezer, so I've just got them out as well. So let's do a little bit of crushing and then catapult a little bit into the swims. Hopefully you guys can see there, it's just basically some crushed boilies now. Some halves, some quarters, some little tiny pieces to a real mixed bag. My hope is that with them not being whole boilies, they'll settle more gently on top of the silt and sit there rather than plugging into the silt too far. That's the theory anyway. As I said, I'm going to pour some of this stuff on. Try and pimp them up a bit. Hope that's a good thing. Well, at last I'm fishing. It's 6:45 p.m. Still lovely and warm. It's a beautiful day to be out here on the quiet lake, which, true to form, is quiet. Certainly down this end, there's 4 or 5 guys fishing up the other end, which tends to be the more popular end of the lake, I think. But I've got this end and the rest of the lake down towards my left-hand side there, all to myself at the moment, so that's absolutely brilliant. So peaceful here. I absolutely love this spot. Slight fly in the ointment. All of the batteries on my alarms are dead. So I'm not going to get any bleeps. I literally am going to have to watch the bobbins and listen carefully for the sound of those free runners going. That's the best I can do at the moment. I'll order up some new batteries ASAP, and next time I'm going to have a prolonged break away from using them. I'll remember to take the batteries out before I store them away in the shed. Rookie mistake. A little bit of early action. You won't believe it, the left-hand rod just bust off. I heard the bobbin click up onto the blank of the rod, screamed off, and I wound down and I've landed this, a pike on a solid PVA bag rig, fished with a krill snowman rig. Hooked fair and square in the mouth. You'd definitely taken it. I've never really caught any pike before. I think I've only caught one a couple of times. Anyway, I know you can't keep him out long, so I'm going to slip this beauty back where he belongs. Unbelievable. After the excitement of the pike, which fought like an absolute demon, by the way, tore all over the swim, taking line, I think it's disturbed things quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is put a bit more bait out, redo both rods, reset everything, and see if the next bite might just be from one of those elusive carp. Well, hi guys, and welcome back to the Quiet Lake. This is actually 5 days after the last session when I caught that pike. I'm back at the Quiet Lake, very similar circumstances, just got a few hours at my disposal, so just going to fish just into darkness. Again, there's a few people on the lake, and unfortunately the swim that I was in last time has been taken, so I'm a little bit further down towards the deeper end of the lake. You might be able to see behind me I've got 2 rods fished out towards the edge of this island, in between the island and a set of lilies that you can see there. Really similar setup to the last session. I'm just hoping that sometime between now and me having to leave in about probably an hour, something happens. If not, I'm not giving up. I love this lake. It's beautiful. I know there's some real special fish in here. Nothing massive, but some real nice fish nonetheless. So I think if I don't have any success this time, then next time I'm going to give it a proper go, have an overnighter on here, and see if I can't hold up one of these carp for you. Well guys, here's a 10-pound mirror carp. But I've got to level with you. I'm not at the Quiet Lake. I'm going to slip this beauty back to where he came from, in this lake, and then explain to you why I'm showing you this fish rather than one from the Quiet Lake. Let's get him back where he belongs. Well guys, it's proper dark now, hence the bivvy lights on the top of the brolly here. So the Quiet Lake. I love that lake. It's beautiful, picturesque. There's some real beautiful carp in there, and usually it's quiet, hence I used to call it the Quiet Lake. Unfortunately, since lockdown, it's getting quite a lot of attention, and actually has been a lot busier than it ever was before now. Our club has a Facebook group, and I think a lot of people have been inquiring about the lakes now, new joiners and that kind of thing. And that particular lake, the Quiet Lake, has come up again and again, and a lot of people talking about the really nice carp in there, and I think that's lured some anglers in, which is totally understandable. Hey, that's probably what lured me in the first place, to be fair. But the net result is I've not been able to get on there in the swims that I've wanted to the last couple of times that I've been down. And so rather than bang my head against a brick wall, I've decided to leave it alone for a little while. Not for too long. I'm sure the hubbub will die down before too long, when football starts again and pubs reopen and all that kind of thing, and I'll be straight back there. For now, I'm on one of the bigger lakes, and that's where that fish that I just showed you was from. I've had a couple this evening, and I'm making a separate video about this session. It's been a really nice one. But I just wanted to talk to the camera, say this little piece about the Quiet Lake, because I had a couple of videos stored on my phone with short sessions that I've done on the Quiet Lake. I caught a pike, which you'll see in this video, but sadly no carp at the moment. I was chatting to a guy here at this lake, at the bigger lake on my club today, just as he was leaving, and he's given me a few tips about the Quiet Lake and some different techniques that I can use. Not necessarily so much different techniques, but some different baits. He's absolutely convinced that small white baits are the one on that lake, and you know what, in hindsight, when I think about it, I think the fish that I have had from there have been on those little white manila pop-ups. Snowman rigs all the same, but those, perhaps that white is really turning them on. So heck, I'm going to give it a go next time I'm down there, that's for sure. Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. Thanks so much for joining me for these couple of short sessions on the Quiet Lake. I hope you enjoyed it, even though there were no carp from the Quiet Lake. At least you've got to see a carp. That's why I put that one in here at the end of the video, really. Thanks so much for joining me on my journey. I really appreciate your comments, really appreciate you watching and subscribing. It really does mean a lot to me. It's brilliant. I really enjoy making the videos, so I'm going to carry on doing it. I'm going to put this one up on YouTube, and then I've got another one in production for the session that I'm on right now, which will be coming out shortly afterwards. So hopefully I'll be seeing you again real soon. Cheers, all the best.